Hey there, it's April from LearnDoBecome. I am so happy to be here with you today as we talk about systems versus routines, what's the difference, and why it matters. Here at LearnDoBecome, we help people who are overwhelmed by the details of life to create simple systems so they can do what matters most. And today we're going to dive into what that really means. What are these systems? And typically what I'm finding is that we're supporting people who are the supporters. When you're the one who is planning, organizing, cleaning up, preparing, delegating, encouraging, lifting, supporting, all of that, you often need someone to support you. And as you learn about these systems and routines, and especially as you take action and apply in your own life, you're going to be so excited because you're going to feel relief. You're going to feel more present. You're going to feel more empowered. And you're going to have more time to not only get the rest that you need, but to put your energy in doing the things that truly matter most. Now, at the end, stay and I'll tell you about gathering together with me and Aaliyah this Friday night. It's on July 31st, 2026, if you're listening right when this goes live, where we're going to be doing a working session inside our step coaching community. I'm going to be cleaning out my closet and would love to have you join me. But whether you're listening right when this podcast goes live and you can join us for this special working session, or if you're listening later and want to join us for future working sessions, make sure you go to learndobecome.com/coach and you can learn more about that. But I'll tell you more at the end. Okay, so before I get started though, I do also love to share little testimonials that come in, people having aha moments and success. So I have a brief one to share from Kristen. She had watched our 1-hour webinar, How to Finally Stop Drowning in Piles, I think a couple years ago. And then she said, and then I kind of coming back. I've had a lot going on, but I'm coming back. And then she shared something that I thought was beautiful. She said, one of the takeaways, and I have known it in my heart for a long time, is that there is freedom in decluttering and organization. The kind of freedom in particular for me is the freedom from junk and nonsense that I've allowed to build up, preventing me from reaching my full potential to care for others, love others, and be a gift to others, including my own family. So my outcome vision for this month is to get restarted on the program so that I can more abundantly care, love, and be a gift to my family. And in doing that, teach them to care, love, and be a gift to the world, God willing. So I thought that was beautiful. So thank you, Kristen, for sharing that. And I hope that as you're listening to Kristen's words and as you're thinking about your own routines and systems and maybe a closet that needs to be organized or maybe the clutter that's around you, that you feel a sense of peace and hope and encouragement, and that you know that you can have this calm life where you don't have to be swimming in stuff, you don't have to be digging through piles looking for things, and you can know that everything that really matters, everything that's most important is safe, and you don't have to stress about it. So let's jump into systems and routines now. And I actually have a Venn diagram that's going to be on the show notes page, so I encourage you to come and check it out if you want to see how they're unique and how they overlap, but I'll go ahead and read it here as well. And the reason why we are talking about this is because, like I said in our mission statement, that we're helping people who are overwhelmed by the details of life to create simple systems so they can do what matters most. Now, sometimes creating solid routines and calendaring habits and all of the other stuff we talk about here, those are part of the systems. And so there is some overlap. But when you actually learn the distinction between a system and a routine, and when you learn how to use that information to reduce the friction in your life, you'll see how it all works together and it's going to be that game changer for you. So simple breakdown. First, let's start with the middle of the Venn diagram. Both systems and routines are done repeatedly, they reduce mental load, and they create consistent desired outcomes. And I'll be sharing examples in a minute. But systems uniquely can be designed to run without you. They are triggered by a condition or a need. They empower others to act either instead of you or in tandem with you. And the others could even be something digital. I know AI right now has a lot of skills and things, and I've got all kinds of digital systems running in our business. Systems are also multi-step. But routines uniquely are time anchored and on a schedule. So typically it's daily, weekly, monthly, etc. They are executed personally, and they can be a single step. Now, the way I've just outlined it isn't the only way to look at systems and routines, and I'm sure there are some situations where my definitions won't exactly fit, but let's just dive in and look at some examples, because then when I share what I suggest you actually do with this information, you're going to notice more calm in your life. Okay, so let's start with examples of systems. Eric and I have a pretty large extended family, and so I put all of our family's birthdays into Asana, that's my digital task manager, as annual tasks. So they pop up in my tasks on the appropriate days, and Asana emails me a little daily summary. Now, I initiated this system. I went and typed each one in, I made it a recurring task, but now it just runs for me. And I could also pre-schedule texts or emails or even gifts to be delivered. But I typically like to do a personal email on the actual birthday and just, say something I love about them or something like that. But that's a very simple system, right? So I don't forget birthdays and I don't feel stressed. I'm always trying to go look at a calendar hanging on the wall or something like that. Continuing with this theme, our immediate family also has a simple birthday system that we do for each person. So I typically run the celebrations in our family, but if I'm not able to do it, or maybe if it's my birthday, then the family can take over. We decorate the wall. So this is our cupboards in our kitchen. It used to be a wall in our kitchen, but we moved, so now it's the cupboards. But we decorate them. Everybody draws little pictures. Everyone who wants to draws little pictures and maybe makes an acronym of their name and writes something about them that we love about them. We have a streamer run where we put little streamers across the staircase and people run down the stairs through it. And we eat dinner at a restaurant of their choice on the actual birthday. And then that week we'll have a Sunday family dinner and cake. And we open Grandma's package. She's so kind and sends a package to everyone for their birthdays. And we give everyone a chance to share something that they love about the birthday person. Now, of course, we can adapt the system if someone wants to do something different for their birthday, but that's our birthday system. We just do the same things every year. It's tradition. It's pretty simple. It's meaningful to all of us. And we love that because it's all kind of put together. A system also can include things like a launch pad by the door that you use most, or a spot in the car for the things that need to be dropped off somewhere. So you might not leave your house every single day or run errands every single day, but when you do, everything is ready for you. So that system, it's like a location. It's just, here's what you do. And other people can do it for you. Oh, this needs to be returned. It goes right here on this launch pad. And then someone's going to take it to return it or drop it off. And this system can be beautifully combined with a next actions list. That's the context-based list. That's, home, phone, errands, to discuss, computer, etc. But you can note on your next actions list the errands that you need to run. Then you load things into the car ahead of time, and then you complete those tasks when it makes sense during the week. So just that, having a little spot to put things that need to go outside the house, on errands, and having an errands list, that would prevent you from being out and about and thinking, oh, shoot, I wish I had that item. I need to return it at the store. Or, oh, I was going to give this thing to a friend, but it's somewhere up in the closet. I don't know, right? So it's just these little things where now you just always know, we always put these things here. This is how we know when we run our errands. This is the list we pick from. It just takes a lot of that decision making out of the everyday and reduces the friction. I also have lots of systems within my email in the form of filters. So I use Gmail, and emails that are sent to a dedicated address that I linked to my Gmail will automatically forward to a team member, for example. Then the team member handles the response, but I still have a record of the email in my inbox. But then because of the system, it automatically forwards. I don't have to worry about it. I could just be aware of it. I have lots of systems in the Gmail where things will skip my inbox and go right to a folder, or things will be automatically starred, or we have canned responses that can automatically be sent out. There's so many things like that. They're just nice systems. So when there's something that you do repetitively that really doesn't need your personal attention, that can take care of it. Another one is when we replaced our home heating and cooling system a couple of years ago. Instead of maintaining a routine of going to the wall and adjusting the temperature based on whether we were going to be home that day or not, now it comes with an app. And so there are sensors around the house that note if we're home or not. And we can set the upstairs and the downstairs for heating and cooling when we're home or away or asleep. So now the system keeps watch so that we use our heating and cooling resources wisely. And I love this because it automatically just knows to adjust, and we're not wasting resources cooling a house that nobody's in, right? And every night when I go to bed, I don't have to think, oh, wait, shoot, let me change the temperature, something like that. Now at LearnDoBecome, in addition to our email, we have lots of systems. So for example, if someone signs up for our welcome kit at learndobecome.com/welcome, they type in their name and email, and then the kit gets delivered in just a few seconds. They'll be able to see it, and it will come right to their email, and you can come get that. It gives you a whole little tour of LearnDoBecome and gives you some free resources to get going, creating your projects and next actions. And anyway, it's awesome. So come get the welcome kit if you don't have that yet. But again, that's a system. So you don't have to email me personally, and then I have to wait till I'm on my computer to send it to you. It just does it. And as Eric and I were raising our 4 children, we divided up household work by posting charts on the walls. My kids kind of laugh about how many charts I had, but you know what? They worked. they don't deny that they worked. So we had rotations for jobs related to things like how to take care of our dog, or kitchen cleanup, or Saturday house cleaning. And Eric and I also figured out how to share the work that we do. So he manages things like laundry and repairs and finances and yard work. And I manage groceries and cleaning the house and like social communication and dental and medical insurance and things like that. Now, part of these responsibilities do fold into our routines, but we've both created systems that make our responsibilities feel lighter. So like with the housework example, it was so nice because we would have a list and say, okay, this person is doing this bathroom and this person's cleaning the fridge. We had it all listed and would rotate every month. And so when it was time for Saturday cleaning jobs, no one had to come and say, well, what do you want me to do? Like they knew what their responsibility was, and we all contributed to keeping the house clean. And I love that. And I even had systems where I would work with each child independently, or I'd work with each child for a little bit of time, and then they would do some of the work independently. And so that was great too, because then we could build relationships cleaning together. And it just helped us to be able to keep a nice, clean, and healthy home without a ton of effort, and all 6 of us were contributing. Now let's jump into examples of routines. So if you go to our website, we have a lot written about routines. You can go to the search bar and type in routines and you can see all kinds of things. So I'm not going to go too deep into these, but routines are single step or multiple step things that we personally and regularly do. And I like to organize mine into daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, semi-annually, and annually. Things like walking the dog each day. We actually take Sunny on 3 walks a day because we work from home and it's easy to just pop out and gets us moving. Eric thinks I walk her way too much. I like it. So we walk the dog each day. We do a weekly planning meeting. Eric and I sit down every Friday morning. It's our weekly planning. We calendar. We talk about social opportunities, talk about work. We talk about all the goals we have. Leading our Arise workshop monthly. If you come into our Arise community, we have a different monthly topic, and you get to grow and workshop it and think and plan and report back and be celebrated with our Rise prizes. It's so fun. So that's inside of a Rise, but that's a routine that we do a monthly workshop. We turn off the porch lights each night. Right now, I don't have an automatic app that does that. I know I could get something like that, but we just go through the house, make sure everything's locked up, lights are turned out. Getting haircuts. I have a little routine on my calendar, and when we had, especially boys, we're raising the boys, they need their haircuts all the time. And so we're just having a routine, how often we go get haircuts. Even recording podcasts. I have a little alert that notifies me every week to make time for the podcast. Typically, the reminder comes in on Monday, and then I decide, as I look at my week's calendar, which day works best. But that's a little routine of sitting down and recording the podcast. And then attending an annual conference. It's another one that's just something that we plan to do, put it into our calendar, and that helps us in growing our business and building our family and all those kinds of things. Now, some routines are specific to a day and a time. Like I mentioned, my Friday morning meetings with Eric. Some routines are flexible, like this weekly podcast. I could batch record once a month, or I could record on a random day of the week. Today's actually Wednesday when I'm recording. Or I could skip recording altogether if I need a break. I don't have to feel like I'm on a treadmill. So I love that. I love having a flexible routine because then I get to come to the podcast with love and joy that I'm genuinely here because I care about you and not because I just feel like I have to record something. Now, some routines can also be systems. So I do have a system that goes with the podcast, for example. But routines aren't always systems. And you'll notice that turning off the porch lights is a single step. Like, yes, it's connected to the home's lighting system, but I just think of it as a routine. So what do we do with this information? The reason I think systems are so fun is because they can reduce some parts of our workload, thereby freeing up time and energy to truly do what matters most. Now, of course, some things should always keep their human touch. That's where our unique ability to discern comes into play. But life in general simply doesn't feel overwhelming when optimal systems are supporting me. So if you're thinking, well, I'd love a few more systems in my life, then here are a few ways to get started. First, identify either a routine that takes a lot of time and bandwidth, a system that still requires your personal energy, or some point of friction that you'd like to smooth in your life. Second, brainstorm ways that you could use a step-by-step process or help from others, technology, or even some other resource to create a helpful system. And then just give it a try for a while and evaluate it. Here are a few recent systems I'm loving. We had great success here at LearnDoBecome with our 4 weeks to finished group coaching. But it was kind of a heavy lift for our team, and we may still do it again in the future. But in the meantime, we created an on-demand version called Step Momentum. Currently, if you're inside of our Step Mastery program, we have a recorded video kickoff call, assignments that get delivered by text, and email accountability posts inside of our group. Plus, there's a little virtual graduation. We are doing a live momentum with a live kickoff call and live coaching sessions and lots more, of the personal engagement with our coaches if you want to be part of our STEP coaching community in the month of October. So go to LearnDoBecome.com/coach to learn about that. So I love that system. It's so fun. So if we can be all hands on deck, we are. And if it works to have it more automated, we can do that. The system can keep it going. So you can get the support that you need any time of day, any day here at LearnDoBecome. A personal one for me is during my morning study, I like to mark my scriptures and add notes in the margins of my actual physical scripture book. But sometimes I learn things or I have ideas that don't fit in the margins. So I have digital scriptures as well, but I just really love these paper ones. And so I created a system where if I place a little red dot next to a verse, that means that there are more related notes in the digital version. So I can copy and paste links to related videos or include quotes from books I've been reading, or I can write more thorough journal entries. And I just love how digital and paper can work together. Next, with 3 young adult children living close by, we wanted to gather each Sunday night for dinner. And they're busy working and are going to school all week, and Sunday dinner doesn't always work for all of them. But we thought it might be fun to eat our meal together on Sundays and then cook a meal or two afterwards that they could take home. So to build the system, we purchased some take-home containers that are dishwasher safe. And then we have the system set up where I text them before I order groceries to see what they want to make. And then the groceries are delivered here. We have a service that delivers for a very reasonable cost. And I genuinely love this. And that on Sundays, they bring their containers with them to family dinner and we spend a couple of hours together. So we enjoy a relaxed dinner that typically I make in advance, and maybe someone will come over and help me for a little bit, and then we cook together. So that's a really great system that's been working for a little while. Eric and I coordinate on a lot of things like social events, things to buy at different stores, travel plans, personal development, etc. And we were noticing that we had all these things we wanted to kind of make lists of so we could refer to it. So Eric created a Google Sheet with a separate tab for each area that needs to be coordinated. And then we have a little QR code for that sheet on our refrigerator, so we can easily scan it if we need to add something to the grocery list. Or I can just pull up my Google Drive and find it real fast. Now, systems do require some effort, but I think they are truly worth it. We actually asked our Arise community how they would feel if each of their pain points had an optimal supportive system in place that actually worked for their unique situation. And here's what they said. They'd feel lighter and more hopeful, less stressed, less overwhelmed. I'd have peace of mind. I can feel the relief in my body already. Energy, 100%. Life would feel easier. I would save energy, less guilt, which is 100% me doing it to myself. I enjoy the freedom of mind and the confidence I get when my systems are working, because even if I'm not up to date, I can know how to get there. Wonderful. I'd feel proud, confident, secure. Another said, I'm in the process of consolidating different systems, and this will make things easier to avoid decision fatigue, save mental space for more complex work or more family time, instead of rebuilding the ship and retooling all the routines. Now, I know that sometimes life can feel too busy, and systems can feel complicated, or like they'll just be one more thing to manage. But I promise that when you learn how to create simple systems to support you, you'll have the bandwidth to do what matters most. So I hope that these ideas, and as we've, differentiated systems versus routines, I hope that you feel really empowered. I hope that you can see that there is so much possibility for you to clear out the friction in your life while still maintaining the things that really matter. I mean, in today's podcast, I shared a lot of things that matter to me, like my personal time with God, remembering family birthdays, having time to coordinate with my husband so we're on the same page, being able to spend quality time with our children when they come over, being able to run a business where I can give my love and I can support other people without it having to drain me so much that I end up, completely exhausted. And so as you're thinking about your life and the things that you want moving forward, if you notice, there are some places where I could just put together some systems, make some decisions, maybe purchase or coordinate some new tools or resources that will lighten things up. And then you think, and if I did that, I could actually rest more. I could be in a better mood around my loved ones. I could feel like I'm actually accomplishing the things that I set out to accomplish. And when I set goals on New Year's Day, I don't need to feel like, it's a hope that maybe someday I'll have time to myself or time to get something done. Because when you're the supporter or a supporter of the people and the situations in your life, I know how draining that can feel, because your love and your compassion propel you to go without rest, to put yourself last, to sacrifice for other people, which is a beautiful concept, that you care so much for others that you're willing to put your own needs on hold. But what if you could support others without putting your needs on hold? How would that feel? So that's what I encourage you to do. Okay, I referred to several things today, resources we have here at LearnDoBecome. If you want to work with us, take that next step, be part of a community. Our STEP program is what helps you to build your system, your command central, with all the routines, and helps you get your systems in place. Our STEP coaching community is so fun. I actually have a few things just want to read to you as we're finishing up, because this Friday night, so I'm recording this Wednesday. I'm going to hurry and get this podcast up here so you guys can listen if you want. But this Friday night at 6 p.m. Pacific, we're having a STEP coaching working session. These are so fun. This is where we all get on Zoom together. We do some initial wins. We commit to what we're going to be working on that night or that day whenever we host them. They're at a variety of times throughout the month. And then we set these little timers and we work in microbursts. But what's so fun is that you can have your computer video on or not, and you're working with friends, and then you're reporting back and you're celebrating. And this is so great because if there are people in your life that you want to, grow and serve with, but they don't want to sit down and do microbursts and organize with you, then this is your chance to gather with your people. So I am super excited, and I'm just going to share a few of the quotes that have been shared. One of them was, and these are all just screenshots from the Zoom meeting that Aaliyah shared with me. One person said, "Thank you all so much. Why is this scary? It's less scary with company that doesn't doubt me or judge me." So I love that. And then she said, "I'm just wanting someone to believe in me, even if only I need to believe in me." Oh, that's beautiful. Another one said, "My win is being here today after being out of town. I really love having some routines in place and on my calendar so I don't have to think about it." Like she's created routines like oil changes and a ring check twice a year, balance a bank statement monthly, name a few. So great. Another said, "I finally did emails to 0 on my personal email, and it still feels a bit overwhelming as, it fills back up each day, but I really don't want myself to ignore that win just because the work doesn't end." So I love that one too, because some of our routines just keep on going. Emails will keep filling up the inbox. Stomachs keep getting hungry, right? But it's still a win when we're able to nurture life and keep things moving. Another one says, "It's so nice to be body doubling / co-working with you guys. I just feel peaceful for the first time today. So thank you all." Oh, so good. Another one said, "I'm not overwhelmed even when I'm not meeting goals. It's amazing. Learning about and trusting in the little bursts and knowing I'll be able to talk to you if I get overwhelmed." Like how that's making such a difference. Another one said, "I love all the coaches. You guys are amazing." Someone else says, "Thank you, everyone. This time of working together is really helpful, knowing I have company." So I love this idea. Finally, I'll share one more. This one says, "The co-working sessions are genius." Thank you. And quick story behind the co-working sessions. When we first started our coaching sessions, we thought people would want to focus on very specific things of the Command Central. And so we had little lessons prepared, and then we'd help them apply it. And really people just said, "I want to work on whatever I want to work on. I just want to be with you guys." So we're like, okay, let's try it. So now we do have one Q&A each month, but then otherwise we just get together and everyone's doing their own thing. And it's so funny, but we get so much more done when we're together. It's so great. So if you want to join with us this Friday night, then come to LearnDoBecome.com/coach and get signed up, and you'll get the email link to attend. But if you are listening to this later and you want to come be part of our coaching program, please come do it. Check out our page, and you can message us at LearnDoBecome if you have any questions. We just genuinely care about you, and I feel so passionate about this work that we're doing because I love being able to see you thrive. I love being able to see your minds become calm, your homes and offices get decluttered, all your digital stuff get all organized, because it's not that you need a clean house or just need to have everything look perfect. It's because it's going to take that pressure off you as the supporter, that you're going to have the replenishment that you need, you're going to have the focus that you need, and you'll be able to really take care of yourself and other people. So, okay, I won't keep talking about that. Take care of yourself. All right, sending lots of love, and we'll see you soon at LearnDoBecome.com.